Should we be bullish or bearish here? I mean, Trump just released his new stimulus package for everyone. Everyone's getting paid $2,000, every man, woman, and child. There's no COVID, but there's a stimulus package. Do you realize how crazily inflationary that is? I mean, they gave out $2,000 checks last time when there was a COVID that crashed the U.S. economy, crashed the world economy, shut everything down. But now they're giving out $2,000 for nothing. And okay, we're gonna look at Bitcoin today and where I think it's going. And there's gonna be some major signals that you may not be aware of. And it's not just me. The Federal Reserve has said they're gonna do QE. They're going to end QT on the 1st of December, which is literally 3 weeks from now. And then they're going to do QE, which is the printer, turn on the printer. Ray Dalio, which is the most successful hedge fund manager in the world, just said, listen, you're going to do QE when there is actually still, when stock market is at all-time high. Job unemployment is at like near the lows at 4.3%. Why would you need to do QE? But that's what they're going to do because, as I explained to you guys over the last few days, U.S. banking system is in a bit of trouble. So that's an amazing situation. They're doing QE, the printer, I predict somewhere in December, and they're going to send out stimulus checks, $2,000 per man, woman, and child to start off with. So do you think we could get a repeat of 2020, right? Remember the big bull run of 2020? It was rocket fuel because we had QE from the Fed and we had a stimulus package. Not as much this time, but still, it's looking like a mini version of 2020. It could be. So, okay, let's have a look at this Bitcoin chart, right? We all recognize this. This is the price of Bitcoin. But why is it some places green and some places, right, yellow or orange? Well, the thing is, here's the chart. We can see here, basically, it's green when there's no fear, when there's like extreme greed, fear and greed index, right? When it's red, when it's yellow, it's like fear. When it gets red, then it's basically absolute fear, extreme fear, right? And look where we are right now. We're getting close towards extreme fear, right? Extreme fear. This kind of, look at how this works, right? We have extreme here, fear here, January 2023, boom, we go up, we go green, extreme greed, and then boom, a couple of orange dots, we go into fear territory, and boom, it bottoms, right? In this is September 2023, massive run to 70K, extreme greed, we go green, and boom, we crash, and lots of orange and a few red dots. So very much extreme fear around here. This was the August the 5th crash, right? Because the Japanese yen trade got carry trade, Japanese yen carry trade got reversed. And then we bottomed, and then we go up, and extreme greed, and then boom, we crashed. This was the April 7th crash due to Bitcoin, due to the Trump trade tariff fight with the rest of the world. A few red dots around here, boom, we bottom, and up we go. Green dots, and extreme greed, and then boom, we crash. We're starting to see some yellow dots here. So what do you notice about this chart? Like what I can say is that we're obviously in a bottoming area, bottoming formation. We're forming a bottom around here, right? So we can see when it goes orange for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, we form a bottom. We start to form a bottom here, we formed a bottom here, we formed a bottom here. But this is when we just started to form. So there could be like 2 of these or even 3 of these. See, there were 2 of these dips, or there were 3 of these dips, right? We've so far had one of these dips, and that was 2 days ago when we went to 100K. So I can't totally rule out a dip to like 92K. That's possible, but I'm expecting we bottom in the high 90s here. Small chance we bottom in the low 90s, 92K if 98K support is broken. But I think 70% chance we bottom around 98K. We see another dip, right? These red dots, and we bottom around November last week of November, if not first week of December. I've been saying this for a long time. And the reason why I say this is because of this chart, right? For folks who are familiar with what I'm talking about, right? One more bounce, one more dip, and we're going to see red dots, yellow dots, extreme fear around here, around 98, 99, 100 area, and then boom, up, next leg we go. And that's what I think is going to happen, but there's a 70, I think that's a 70% chance, 30% chance we go down. This is the MVRV ratio, and that's also give us a major signal on Bitcoin right now. But before we get to all of those big signals, first let's answer the question of which crypto exchange does Pablo use? Well, Pablo uses exchange that's non-KYC. So that means even the exchange can't see who you are, right? So that means the exchange can't see you, the IRS can't see you, the tax office can't see you, FBI, CIA, nobody can see you, total privacy. That's why I made this link with them, right? Went up to $40,000 in prize money. And basically, just by being in the top 20 of the trading volume, right, we get to win a slice of the prize pool. Or being in the top 10 of the prize pool, just by P&L contest, we get to win a prize. This is a volume contest, right? Lots of great, wonderful prizes. But remember, limited time only, folks. This deal finishes on 20th of November. Limited time only. But if you're watching this on YouTube right now, then the link is in the description below. But if you're watching on any other platform, such as this one, that's okay. Just click on my profile page, and there is my link tree or Stan link, right? And it should be the first deal that pops up because it's a great deal. Okay, let's get back to the markets, folks. But remember, this deal is only available on the Pablo link. Okay, so this is a great one, the MVRV ratio. We can see here it's basically realized cap, MVRV, market value, realized value, right? It basically says what's the market cap of Bitcoin right now and what's the realized cap of Bitcoin right now, like people who sold at what prices, right? That tells us at what price, the price they sold Bitcoin at, what is actually the value of Bitcoin. But what's the total market cap of Bitcoin, which is for people who haven't even sold yet, right? For whales who are still holding, which is the total number of Bitcoins available on the market right now, like 20 million, 19.8 million, whatever that number is, times the Bitcoin price. Okay, so that's just a quick explanation of what it is for people who, I get lots of trolls who want to argue with me. But look, I'm trying to point out to you guys, there's amazing signal here. Every time this MVRV, which is a very reliable signal, I've spoken about it a number of times, when it dips to this 1.8, see how it says 1.75, 1.8 level here? Market bottoms and market takes off, right? Can you see how many times this has happened? This has happened like 4 times now, right? So here, we dip to just below 1.8, right? This is MVRV is the green line, and yellow line is basically the Bitcoin price. We dip to 1.8 here, and Bitcoin takes off from, this is what, 39K up to 71K. That's a massive run. That's like an 80% run. This was March 12th, 2024, when we topped, and then we went crashed down, yen carry trade once again. So when that happened on August 5th, 2024, Bitcoin hit like 49K, right? I mean, the closing was 54K. But look at this. Basically, the MVRV hit 1.79, right? 1.73, right? And boom, we bottomed and up we go. So once here again, this was when Trump got elected, and boom, down we go. And here was April 7th, of course, when the trade war was at its worst. And then Trump caved, and then basically the market bounced and recovered. But look at this. The MVRV hit 1.74 that day. And where are we now? So right now we're at 1.81, 1.81, 1.84, 1.82. We're literally on the verge of hitting, like going below 1.81. We're literally on the verge of going below 1.8. And as we can see, when we go below 1.8, it's actually a pretty good indicator because it's worked the last 1, 2, 3 times. I understand that if we were to look at a longer time range of MVRV, which is the green line, we can see it goes to some extreme levels. This is at the bottom of bear market, which was 0.7. Bottom of bear market, 0.8. right? Bottom of the bear market, 0.98. So they're all below 1. But these were the last 3 bear market bottoms. I mean, that's the COVID crash. Here, we're in a bull market. We're in a bull market trending range. So that's when 1.7 something, 1.8 tends to work. And as I've been telling folks, this Bitcoin MVRV ratio is actually part of the bull market peak indicators, right? So these tell us where's possibly Bitcoin topping. What's your favorite indicator? They've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They've got like 30 of these indicators, right? Like the pi cycle top, pure multiple, rainbow chart, ETH to Bitcoin ratio. They've got, MVRV Z score, right? They've got RSI 22 days, altcoin season index. They've got all these. They've got all these indicators. So basically, and as I've been saying, none of them are showing flashing red. None of them flashed red for the last 3 months, except one, which was kind of the altcoin season indicator, flashed red for about 2 days and then went green again. So there's not much indication by any of the 30 indicators that used to work that we have topped. I'm not saying it's not impossible. I'm saying in the last week or so, the odds I give is basically, I think 70% chance we go up for another leg, 30% chance market has topped and we go down in a bear market in the next few months. So no one can say 100%, but I'm making a strong, obvious, very clear call here, 70%, right? We should head up, and that's like, I mean, if you guys do, if you guys bet on games, bet on sports, soccer or football, you understand if someone can tell you 70% chance, those are pretty good odds if you know how to trade it. Anyways, no one can say 100%, so I'm just saying 70% odds. That's how I'm positioning myself. Okay, so what's another indicator that's giving us major clues right now? This one. Okay, this is the short-term holders, STH, their average cost basis. See this dotted line? This is blue line or purple line is obviously the Bitcoin price. This dotted line is also Bitcoin, is the short-term holders average cost basis. What does that mean? So on average, for example, the short-term holders, like when Bitcoin price was here, the average price, like 70K, 71K, on average, short-term holders bought at like 62, 61K here, right? So when price dipped below 60K, they started panicking. There was a lot of panic from the short-term holders because then you're 10% below your entry, right? People who put 10K in now only have 9K, so they're panicking. So that's why they register these green dots, right, showing us this is likely a bottom. And we can see here, right, this is basically the bottom Bitcoin at 15K. We had lots of these green dots pick the bottom quite well. You could say we had these these green dots here, right? But that's because this was in a bear market when Bitcoin was going down all the way from 69K to 15K. In a bull market, as we're in right now, price tends to stay above this short-term holder average cost. And when they do dip below, and especially when they get 10% below, we get these green dots, right, as a signal. And here timed the bottom perfectly, right, at 25K, and then boom, up we went to 70K. And here we timed these bottoms perfectly at 55K-ish area, 54K, and then boom, up we went, and then boom, Bitcoin came down. We timed these, using these indicators to time the bottom perfectly, and it's saying we're 10% below the short-term holders average cost, right? A lot of these green signals came out, and that timed the bottom pretty perfectly, and now boom, up we go, and we dip, we drop below the short-term holders cost. And when it went to 100K, 99K, basically 2 days ago, price actually hit for the first time below 10% below short-term holder average cost. So once again, my message is this: when we have one signal, when we have one green, signal, it doesn't mean we've bottomed, we're going up. We need, look at this, we need a few of these, then a few of these, then a few of these, then up we go. So we have a few of these, 1, 2, 3 dips, 1, 2, 3 dips, right? And then up we go. Here it was a rare case where we just had one dip, but it was still like 2 or 3 green signals. Here we're only having 1 or 2, right? Of course, in a bear market, price is always 10% below the average short-term holders price. So yeah, but at least it picked the bottom really well as well. So that gels. So what that's trying to tell us is we are starting to construct a bottom. We need a few more, maybe one more, maybe 2 more wick downs to construct a real bottom, right? To construct a real bottom. We're just starting to construct the first leg of the bottom, and then up we go. That's the signal it seems to be telling us. So what else has been telling us this? Look at the chart I've been showing to everyone. It's basically gelling with what I'm trying to say here. This is the fractal I've been using. So far, it's kind of followed up pretty well. Told us it was going to bottom at around this 99K area. Around, this is the data, 5th of November, 6th of November, around that area. And then we bounce. So far, we haven't had the big bounce yet, right? Even with the big Trump $2,000 stimulus package. So it's a bit of a worry to me because ETH has taken out a new high. Bitcoin hasn't. Bounce, and then I think we get to like 116, maybe even 118K area. And then basically we come down. Could be as low as 100K, 99K area, or could just be a higher low, right? That's when we get more green dots on this chart. We bounce and then we come down again. We get more green dots. And it's telling us that's going to happen around 28th of November, which is last week of November, or even as late as first week of December, and then up we go for the next leg up. What I think is the final leg up, right? So that's all that is. The charts I'm showing you guys right now is gelling. It's confirming what I've been trying to say with this price fractal, which is that I think we're starting to make a bottom here, which need another 3 weeks to 4 weeks. In another 3 to 4 weeks time, we make the next and probably final bottom, and then next leg up we go to make a new all-time high. And I would only say that's 70% chance. There's always 30% chance we break down and go into some sort of deeper correction. You want to call that bear market or a pullback of another 20%, right? Just quickly on ZEC, basically the last video I made, I said we are headed when it was at 575. When it was at 575 here in my last video, I said rather than going down $100 to 475, I don't think we get there. We only got down to 530. We're heading to $100 higher. So something like 675. So far, boom, we've hit 656, 657, right? So we're $20 or so away from my target, and it's still looking good. Look, as I keep on saying to you guys, if the market is really bearish, if the market is shorting it heavily, right, then basically the odds are good that price will go up. As I keep on saying, 0.01% is the normal price. When it goes above normal futures funding rate, when it goes above to go 0.013, and it goes red. When it goes below, right, and then it goes green, and this is heavily below, negative 0.11%, negative 0.6%, right? So very negative. I think we go up more to squeeze out the shorts. Okay, thank you for your time, folks. I'll catch you guys for the next episode.